Friend, if you've been listening to the podcast, you know that we are listener supported. What does that mean? It means that currently we're not taking any sponsorships, any advertising. All of our funding comes directly from listeners like you. So whether you're listening, thank you. You're sharing the podcast with a friend, thank you. Or you're financially supporting us, thank you. If you are interested in being a part of our team that helps put this podcast on, go to Kathi.link/copy. That's KATHI.link/copy. We'll also have that link in the show notes. And let me just say thank you for being a part of our podcast in any way that you're able to show up. Well, hey friends, welcome to Clutter Free Academy, where our goal is to help you take small, doable steps to live every day with less clutter and more life. And I'm back with Tenneil Register. Tenneil, I love that we dive into every room together. Thanks for being here.
We really get to know each other, don't we?
Yeah, we really do. And so do the listeners. Everybody gets to know each other. Okay. If there is one thing that's true about my cluttery sisterhood, is that often, I would say probably 75% of them, their worst room that they have to use on a regular basis is the bedroom. And I know how frustrating this is because oftentimes we're just shoving things in there to keep them out of the, eyesight of other
I'm
people.
guilty. I'm so
Yeah,
guilty.
are you guilty?
I am,
And you're
I
not
am
even a
guilty.
cluttery person.
Yeah. It's a safe
It's
place where the guests don't go. So it's just
yes.
so easy.
Right. It is easy. It's easy to be able to close that door. Um, does it stay that way? Or like is there always a little bit of chaos?
I I want to say no, but I think the true answer is yes. And I
Uh-huh.
think the best person to ask would be my the girl who cleans the house every few
Oh,
weeks, a deep clean.
yeah.
That's the one part of the house that's not
Right.
just as decluttered as the rest. Like it's not stacked
Right.
waist high, but
Yeah.
it's a
We're
real
not calling the
issue.
show hoarders to get you on.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm guilty.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's so real, right? Our houses aren't always designed for the best living for our family. It's just how it goes sometimes. And so we have to figure out where to put that and where do you put that overflow?
Yeah,
Um,
and that's so true because
but
I have a huge bedroom of wasted space. So that's why it becomes an easy place for a catch-all.
Absolutely. Our bedroom is one of the biggest rooms in our house. And so
Yes.
it's very
Hmm.
easy to tuck. And I would say our bedroom is pretty good most of the time, but we have like a utility closet in there. And that, yeah, let's not talk about it. Let's just, yeah. But here we are. We're talking about it in this episode.
And that's
So,
why you guys love us because we don't come on
yeah,
to tell you what to do. We come on to
right.
research the problem and brainstorm together. We are not the
Exactly.
experts in every room of the house.
No, we're not just founders, we are members. So I would love though for us to I think that part of the reason that we feel so unsettled as cluttery people is that we don't have a safe place for ourselves. I'll never forget Roger, who is not a cluttery person by nature, but when he was a single dad, he had a bunch of stuff in his bedroom and, he would go to crawl into bed at night and he'd put all the stuff that was on his bed on the floor. And then when he would wake up, he would put all the stuff that was on the floor onto the bed. And it's like, I know we've all done it, right? Um, but I want that room first of all, let me just be really practical. I want it to be the safest room in your house.
I think
I
that's
want it
incredible.
yeah. So, Tennille, a couple of weeks ago, um, I was really, really sick, and it turns out it was a gallbladder, but, what was going on for me is I was having fevers, my pulse was racing, I was in a place where I just was not feeling well. It was about 2 in the morning, and, uh, I told myself, "I just need to get to the bed. I just need to get to the bed because I was in the bathroom, and, uh, Roger wakes up to me on the floor. I had
Mm,
passed out, and, I'll tell you, it was such a nice victory because people ask, "Did you trip on something?" I'm like, "No, there was nothing on my floor." I felt so good that I could answer that honestly, that like, "No,
right.
it
It's
wasn't that."
true.
Yeah, I
Like,
passed
you need
out.
to be able to stumble around in there, like, even if it's to get up in the middle of the night unexpectedly, it really is a
Ex
place that should be safe to kind of
y
feel your way
ex
around, and that's
exactly,
only going to be good for your mental health too, right? Like,
exactly. And I also wanna say this should be your exhale room. When I was younger, I would postpone going to bed because my bedroom was such a mess. And
mm,
so it was easier to just be on the couch, and so I would stay up later, and I would be robbing myself of sleep because I didn't wanna go into the room and feel like I had to clean the room before I cleaned the room. You know what I mean? It's just
yeah,
and
so many
also
times when
yeah,
the kids were young, we would dump the laundry on our bed as the safe place for it, and then at the end of a
yeah.
long day, that's what was waiting for you before you went to bed.
Yeah, exhausting, right? Exhausting.
Yeah.
And how can you be that place of recharge? How can you make your room that place of recharge? Um, because your body needs that cue to say, "Hey, there's the bed. You get to go crawl into that. That's part of your reward for today." But like you said, often it's laundry limbo, nightstand chaos, an emotional dumping ground. Y- you know, And my question is, do we feel like rest is only our reward if we've done everything else?
Yeah.
Like,
And
go ahead.
like, what does your bedroom say about how you actually feel about rest? Right? That's what you're
Right.
saying, Kathy. Like, do I have to
Y-
earn that?
Yes. And I think it's okay to say rest can be, you know, rest can be something of a reward, but it's not something that you only get if you've behaved well during the day. Like I love going into our bedroom and the bed's all made and my nightstand I mean, it has a couple of things. It has the book I'm reading, it has my glasses, it has my bottle of water, but it's just ready for me. And it
And
makes me so happy.
and that's so different than if we allow our nightstand to also have like the kids' permission slip that needs to
Yeah.
be turned in, or, the light bill that we need to call and straighten out or whatever. And so there's rest is a gift, and we can prioritize like taking care of that gift.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I want to talk about that today. How do we overcome the bedroom ick? What's actually in there? Uh I because our it is probably one of your biggest rooms. And so it's very easy to let things pile up in there. Under bed bins you haven't opened in years, things that you thought were important that aren't. Books you should read, a nightstand that just is like, "Okay, well, I'll just put it here for now." Uh, Clothes you don't wear, but you can't release.
I'm
All
really
of this.
I'm really excited to go back. We just had our Abundant Home Conference in Clutter Free for Life, and Carrie taught the 27 hangers. And I'm really
Yes.
excited to listen to that because I think most of the clutter in my room is still a little bit clothing, even though I think I do a good job of purging my closets. But I
Yeah.
think I think I'm ready for that next level of capsule.
Well, and I think it's really interesting when you talk about your closet, you think about all the different jobs your room has. It's not just for sleep. It's not just for me, that's where I exercise. It's, where I read. It's,
Hmm.
also for me, it's where I work,
Right. Same for
and it's
me.
where I get dressed. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
What were you
And
gonna say?
like it's a place where I go to work on things that like require a more creative, deep, private side of me, right? Because I know I'm not going to
Yes.
be like bothered in there. And I bet there's a lot of our listeners who their bedroom's like their only place to kind of escape. Like you said, it's a
Yeah.
dressing room. You know, I don't have a
Mhm.
fancy master closet or anything like that. So my
No.
actual bedroom is also my dressing room. The
Yeah.
closet's pretty close to the bed, honestly. So
Yeah.
that's how my clothes land on the bed when I try something on and decide not to wear it.
Yep, exactly. Oh, and also let me say that's my TV room. That's where I watch my
Mm,
TV.
okay.
So, that's not the same for everybody, but it is for me. But I like what you're saying there because, it's a private room, but it has a lot of public uses. And that can be a real tension there. So, I think one thing to examine is what emotions come up for you when you walk into that bedroom. I know for me, it really does, after, it's only been this way for the past 5 years or so, but it does really let me exhale. It lets
Mm,
me say, "Okay, this is my safe, this is my sanctuary." Not that the rest of my house isn't safe, but, uh, I have really designed my bedroom so I have everything I need. Like, my nightstand is a work of art. I know,
right.
it's got everything I need so I don't have to get out of bed 1,000 times to get all the things that I need. What emotions come up for you as you walk into your bedroom?
Yeah, I think now it is that like exhale, like I won't be bothered kind of thing. And
Yeah.
I want to honor that when my kids were younger, it did not represent that, right? Like
No.
it was a bed where there was a room for all of us to climb in and watch a movie or, talk
Yeah.
and things like that. But when your kids are older, everywhere else that I go, between my phone, um, we keep a pretty open door open door, open front door policy. That's what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say. That people come in and out of our house pretty freely, and we like it that way. But my
Yeah.
bedroom, no one comes in without knocking first. I mean, for the obvious reasons, but
Right.
I think that represents a mental shift to me that I also
Yes.
won't have an interruption that I don't give permission to. And that's
Yeah.
pretty important when you keep the high capacity schedule that I keep.
Absolutely. To be able to say, "Hey, there is one place that nobody else is entitled to except for my partner," or, whoever that is.
Hmm.
And, um, you know, I I love that there is a place that I can just it this sounds weird, but it's all about me. Where I don't have to decorate for anybody else, I don't have to cook for anybody else, I don't have to share my blanket. I share my blanket with Roger because 'cause I'm a nice person and Moose, but, it's where I can completely let go. Okay, friends, we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we wanna talk about some first steps to reclaiming that space of your master bedroom. Oh, excuse me, we don't call it a master bedroom anymore, we call it a primary bedroom
Primary.
or primary, yeah. Just
I,
because there is some not great history to that word master, as you can imagine.
right.
Yeah. Were you gonna say something, to Neil?
No, I just that it's hard to take out of your vocabulary, right?
When
Because
you've been calling yeah,
the
for
master
55
bedroom was the
years.
big one. That's what I thought growing
Right.
up, right? Like the
Yep.
masters for tennis was the big one.
Exactly, exactly. But we are open to changing our wording to honor the right meaning. So, we'll
Right.
come back and talk about that primary bedroom. Friends, if you are not subscribed to our newsletter, we would love to invite you to do that. We take these topics that we talk on the podcast and we go deeper, often including things like a downloadable sheet of what you can do for your next steps. And if you have questions, you can always hit us back in there. And we love to get listener feedback. So subscribe to our newsletter. We'll make sure that we keep that same high level of quality you've come to expect in all of our clutter free products. Okay, so let's talk about some first steps when it comes to resetting that bedroom. You and I are both big nightstand people, right? So
We
tell
are.
me about your nightstand.
Um, only like every day, only the correct objects can be on the
Mhm.
nightstand. Like it's
Yeah.
just a place that if I see something that was rested there temporarily, then I have to move it. Like it just,
Yeah.
I don't know. It almost has become, I think, wired into my nervous system of what the correct objects are for that table. And I keep mine
Yes.
on like a wooden tray that Jesse
Mhm.
made for me. All
Mhm.
those objects are kind of combined on that tray. And so as I use them, they get moved onto the actual nightstand surface, and then I move them
Mhm.
back onto the tray. And that allows for
Oh,
like
nice.
easy dusting for cleaning around
Yes.
my objects because my objects are pretty important. I cannot sleep without Vaseline, period.
I
Like if we stayed
absolute from
somewhere and I didn't have any, Jesse would just get off bed and drive to the nearest store and find some because that would be much easier than me trying to call myself without it.
we had to pull over for me to get some burnt bees within the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like, my lips have become so dry,
Yeah.
and, now it is yeah, I have, it's actually on my nightstand, it's Aquaphora,
Hmm.
lip that stuff's amazing. It's the best. I love it. Or I also like the EOS, but yeah, same for me. My nightstand has 2 pull-out drawers, and so the top drawer is just a basket of stuff I use every single night. It's got my meds in there. It's got, a hair bonnet. It's got, a little pair of scissors, which I don't use every night, but I use it sometimes. It's got backup lip stuff. It's got I'm trying to think of everything in there. It's got hand cream. It's everything I need. So I just pull that basket out and I go through everything in there. Oh, it's got face wipes. It's got face moisturizer. It's got everything. I love it. I will also say if from now until eternity, every nightstand I have will have some kind of plug system so I can plug in my USB. I don't know. It just has made my life so much easier and simpler. And the other thing by my nightstand that I lived without, I don't know, for 56 years, but will never live without again is a little garbage can. Like, why did I
Ooh.
think everything kind of had to stay on the nightstand until I got up and throw it away? And so now I've just got this little clear garbage can. It just makes life so much easier.
Yeah, I
So,
think of all the tags. I walk all the way to the kitchen if I take the tags off of a new article of clothing in my bedroom. That's
yes,
smart.
that's crazy. That's crazy. There's no need for that. We're in our soft era, Tenneil. We don't need to be doing crazy stuff like that.
And then our
Okay.
kids are like, get your steps in.
Yeah. So, okay. You know what? Those aren't fun steps. Outside in the trees is our
Yes.
fun steps. Yes. Okay. So if your nightstand is a mess, I think it's really important to say, okay, what do I use every day or at least once a week? And everything else can be put someplace else. You don't need to be keeping things in your nightstand that you're only using, once every 3 months. Just know where
Hmm.
it is, but evaluate, um, you know, a book, a charger, your water. I have drawers, so I'm able to put more stuff in there, but everything else needs to be put someplace else so you have a clear space. Because you just told a story yesterday about, something that happened with your nightstand in the middle of the night, right?
Yes. So I had a glass lamp. I loved it so much. Two of them. We splurged on them a little. And I don't know. One night I got kind of, how you get twisted around in your bed of like where you're at. And
Yeah.
I like through my arms and I knocked it off and it just like slammed just right and it broke in the middle of the night. So in the middle of the night, here we are cleaning up glass, right? Like on the nightstand in the middle of
No.
the night. And I was like, so those aren't a good idea anymore. No more glass,
Yes.
and now they have
S
such great options that can hang on the wall above so you don't even have it on your
Yeah.
nightstand. I haven't gone there yet because I have a window above one of my nightstands, but
Yeah, we have gooseneck lamps on each side of the bed, and,
yeah.
again,
And that
something
helps
I
for
will
reading,
always
right?
have. Yeah, yes. I will have those for the rest of my life because I love them. Um, okay, so friends, the next time you get into bed, could you bring a little, grocery sack so you can start purging? Just go through it, set a
Mm,
timer for 10 minutes. When you're listening to your podcast, I just got a book, The Other Bennett Sister, that I guess is coming out as a mini series in May, but I'm loving it so far. So put on an audiobook, watch some TV, and start purging that nightstand. And there are probably 20 spots like this in your room, but start with the one that you interact with every single day. And then another thing, if you just the first steps, cleaning off that nightstand, and then when you wake up tomorrow, make the bed. The Making the bed is the fastest way to make that room look good quickly. And if you're like, oh, it's too much to make the bed, uh, I want you to reevaluate your bed. Do you have too many pillows on it? Maybe what you do is you store a few of those pillows until you have company coming or you're getting ready to sell your house. They're not everyday pillows. But
mhm.
if you're resisting making your bed, you've probably made it too complicated. Um, Tenneil, what's one small thing that you could do for your bedroom that you feel like would make a difference?
I think I need to reevaluate some storage of the not everyday items. They can still be in the
Mm,
room, but like
yeah.
the things that are getting placed in there regularly, maybe I need to create a home for those. And so
Hmm.
actually yesterday when I was teaching, I realized in my bedroom is where I have not used vertical space, like a bookshelf or some other type of
Mm,
thing to create some vertical. And so things tend to get spread out on the floor because I have lots of floor space in there. And so I
yeah.
want to really look at like I feel like packages are commonly stored in my room, like gifts for
Yeah.
people, because I don't want them to find them in the house. So maybe I need to
Right.
create some places with a pretty basket where that can go in instead
Yeah.
of thinking that one day I won't have these packages because I'm always going to have them. There's 7 people in this family. Well, now
Yeah.
7 plus 1. One got married, and if we count all the extras, we've been talking through what to do with the abbreviation R7. We're now officially R7 plus as long as they're
Oh,
adding on
nice.
spouses. So,
Yes, because you're the plus is gonna keep on plussing. If I've learned
right. So we
anything from
decided
having
rather than
adult
giving that a
kids.
specific number, yeah, we're just
Yeah,
plus is going to be a symbol for all of these additions.
I love it so much. Okay, friends, I want you to think about what is the next thing you can do. Start with the nightstand, make the bed, do something that is going to make that bedroom feel more restful. And in May, in Clutter Free Academy, that our paid group, Clutter Free for Life, that is what we are focused on is the bedroom, how to reclaim that space. So we're going to be going deep. We have a 5-day sprint. We have uh, 4 different teachings on how to declutter your bedroom. We have co-working time where we're all in that bedroom space, getting rid of stuff, cameras on or off, your choice. But if you want to find out more about joining Clutter Free for Life and making a real difference in your home, I'll put the link down in the show notes so you can check us out. And let me know if you have any questions. We'd love to have you. Tenneil, thanks for being here today. And friends, thank you for being here. You've been listening to Clutter Free Academy. I'm Kathi Lipp. Now, go live the clutter free life you've always wanted to live.